FTW. You mad? FTW Broadcasting here for the win. We bring you hot League of Legends action, bringing you that Procast, that high elo commentary. This is a featured game from the main League of Legends navigation. Joining me, as always, is my boy, Danny. How you doing, sir?
That's right, it's me, MBD, and I'm doing just fabulous. Happy to be here. Love the high elo play, almost as much as I love the troll play.
Yes, indeed. This cast will differ from our troll cast where we make fun of low elo players. Don't worry, they love it. They love it so much to be Z-list internet celebrities on our channel. King of Town, how are you doing, sir? Also here on the cast, how are you doing?
I am doing great, ladies and gentlemen. As always, it's your pleasure and mine to be here with me, specifically, ready to talk about some League of Legends.
Not only are we going to talk about it, we're going to watch a live match. Currently, we're paused because with the new featured games thing, you can't actually start watching a match from the very beginning. Unfortunately, hopefully a real replay feature will come into play, but enough jibber-jabber. MBD, introduce your team, starting up at the top here with, I was like, sup, girl?
I was like, sup, girl? We've got Poppy playing the solo top bruiser. In the jungle, we've got Udyr doing the jungle, obviously. Morgana in the mid with the succulent skin, very nice, as the AP carry. Down below, we've got Graves and Janna as the AD carry and the support, respectively. King of Town, take it away.
Alright, also on the bottom, we're just going to start here where you're at. We've got what looks like a support Alistar and a Corgi, toss-up and Pokebunny respectively. In the middle, though not exactly in the middle, we have Twisted Fate. Looks like he's coming back after going home, as well as our Mundo, the blue jungler. Looks like he has just made his first back and is heading back into the jungle with his blue. And at the top, we have...
Riven?
Somebody, hold on.
Riven,
yes.
bro?
No, that's not Riven, is it? It is Riven! It is Riven! Riven in the top as the bruiser, facing off against Poppy in the top lane.
You didn't recognize Riven because there was no bunny ears? Is that the problem?
That's part of the problem. Also, she's in the bush, and I cannot exactly make out the model.
Well, now that we've lost all our viewers, maybe we should start.
Recognizers are from the boobies. Alright, here we go. It's going to be a 3, 2, 1... go, and we're going to start the action here at the top lane. And right now, who do you think is stronger up in your top lane situation right now? Well, hold on, there's some pings mid. What's going on here? We've got a double buff. A double buff Udyr headed towards the top. Looks like this Riven's going to get ganked early. So this probably will be successful as the Riven is really far out of position. Once the Poppy starts busting his face open, we'll see what happens. Udyr needs to move in now. He's not going to get a better positioning on this Riven.
Well,
no, definitely not.
Riven is very difficult to gank because Riven has the ability to just cover a lot of ground really fast. You see this right here, the jump, 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 and out of danger. Very difficult to gank, especially without
I think that was just a bad timing by the Udyr. He had come in right away. He had way better opportunities. I don't know what he was doing exactly.
I'm not sure what he was doing either, and sorry to interrupt, boys, but we got Mundo with the exact same idea headed towards the bottom. Poppin' that Graves with the cleaver. That in tandem with the exhaust allowed Corki to get the kill, exactly what you want in that situation. Get your AD carry, that early game kill. Alistar, such a beast as a support in the bottom lane. He really is. Mid lane, looks like Udyr is thirsty for blood once again. Lost his red buff, still has the blue. Gonna try to harass this TF, probably gonna be unsuccessful. No, he flashes in for the stun, allowing Morgana to get the grab with the dark binding, polishing him off. So a fairly even exchange. Losing the AP carry mid is the blue team, losing the AD carry bottom is the purple team.
Yes, that was a very nice situation with Udyr and Morgana there. He flashes in for the stun, making the dark binding skill shot much easier to hit. Combined stuns, took out TF no problem. Very nicely done.
Riven getting very aggressive top. Poppy down to 100 HP. Is the Ignite going to finish off that Poppy?
It doesn't look that... Oh.
3 HP! Oh my! Barely living there. Now Udyr, you're gonna get some retaliation here on this low health Riven. Uh-oh, do you think this Riven can escape?
If anyone can, it is Riven, but that jump is just so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
You were asking who we thought was stronger in the top, Riven or Poppy. I think it's definitely Riven. The mobility is just off the charts. I never really see Poppy as the top solo. Like, ever. I see her in the jungle. Sometimes I even see her in a weird support role. But Poppy's got that weird issue that she's more of an anti-carry than anything else. Her job is to you know, pop her ultimate and get towards that carry and just blow them up and then run out, troll.
Right.
So she's a weird position in the game as a whole right now.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Poppy is the fewer hit points she has, the more effective HP she has, which is a little bit strange. It makes it very easy to underestimate Poppy and overestimate your ability to kill her.
That's a great point about Poppy. Newer players, take note on that one. It looks like Riven's headed back to the top lane. This Poppy is pushed up against her tower. If Riven's able to push this in, could stunt that Poppy's farm. Let's see how that turns out. In terms of farm so far, are you seeing really any advantages from one player or another in the middle lane or the bottom lane?
Well, we have 46 for Corki versus 38 for Graves, so Corki is ahead right now. He did have that time where Graves was dead, so there was that. Looking at the top lane with Riven versus Poppy, 39 to 32, pretty close, hard to say there. And then in the middle, TF versus Morgana, 51 to 51, exactly even actually. So pretty even all around, I think.
You know, Morgana's such a beast on farming because of the pool, the tormented soil, but TF easily able to keep up with the wild card. So that's a pretty even matchup mid. The fact that they got a Morgana...
We got some action top here, though, with Udyr again.
Indeed. Udyr coming in, popping this Riven. Will Riven be able to escape? I will put $100 on yes. And Riven does back up, and now he's going to come back to chase down that Udyr. I'm not exactly sure what he's thinking there.
He's got Mundo to back him up.
He's trying to bait.
Give him a big hand.
Ah, I see. He's trying to bait with the Mundo. Fair enough. Bottom lane, Alistar moving in with the headbutt, pulverize, just kind of harassing at this point. I don't think it's going to work as this Corki getting low on health. Graves looking like he's trying to commit. Morgana coming in with the spell shield and ultimating that Corki with the Dark Binding, completely burning him. And now the TF has teleported in. This Graves looks like he's pretty much doomed. There's the Ignite on the Graves. Can somebody get one more hit on him? No, they miss. The flash coming in. TF trying to ensure that kill on the Graves. It didn't work. Instead, he turns around and kills the Janna. Janna, though, sacrificing herself to save her AD. That worked out for me. Now this Morgana, will she be able to escape that Alistar? I would say yes.
Yeah, that was that was a smart move by TF to finally turn. A lot of players, myself definitely included, would continue to have focused on that Graves and then gotten themselves killed with no kill.
Yes, indeed. That's what we like call tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, the ruination of many a player. You get the eye on that kill, you think you're so close, but in reality, you are so far away.
I suffer from it big time. I've got a doctor's note about it, actually, and a prescription.
I don't have a doctor's note, but I've got many...
The King of Town wrote it for me. He's a doctor.
Well, I am a doctor. You want me to write you one?
Alright, I'll take it. Morgana picking up the blue, headed towards the mid, and Morgana with the blue is disgustingly powerful. Just farming her way through. TF coming back to mid with his own blue. So, it's going to be a little more back and forth there. Think the action is going to cool down just a hair, and normally the action is driven in high elo matches by these jungles. Once you see the jungles move in, you see the action. Poppy harassing this Riven, doing a really good job of zoning this Riven in the top lane. We'll see if that actually affects the Riven's farm, which the Riven appears to be down by 12 CS right now, which isn't huge, but that could begin to snowball as we move forward and towards the 15-minute mark.
Right, absolutely. Picked up a decent amount of CS from the tower. The Poppy just lying in wait. Here comes the Mundo, though, going where he pleases, and Riven trying to bait Poppy there. Oh, he did. I'm not sure if he knew Poppy was there, but that is unfortunate. Here comes the Mundo!
Mundo goes where he pleases and finishing off that Poppy. Nice job by Mundo. Nice, great bait by Riven, I gotta say.
I like Mundo as a jungler. I played him as a jungler for the very first time today, actually. I've never actually seen him at the jungle. I know he's just kind of coming into vogue, so to speak, as a jungler. His speed at clearing the jungle is amazing. It might be the highest I've ever seen.
It disappoints me because I always like to play lane Mundo, but regardless, that's just me being not skilled as a jungler. And in the bottom lane, looks like Alistar and Corki focusing on that Graves. I think Graves is going to be able to get out of there. Yep, a nice bit of harass though, dropping both of them down to low HP, forcing the consumption of that healing pot. And now Udyr coming in to essentially just clean up the mess mid, not necessarily wanting to deal any damage to that TF, as Udyr will have major issues getting that TF without a flash.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, the action has quieted down a little bit, so to speak. I'm a little disappointed at the overall ward coverage. You see purple does have 2 wards here, and there's 1 ward here for blue. The game is probably about to transition out of the lane feed. Unfortunately here for TF, he's trying to teleport away, and he gets stunned. Oh, that is just a bad combination from Morgana with the ultimate, Dark Binding, the stun from Udyr. There's just nowhere to go.
He was doomed. He was absolutely doomed. Mundo coming in here doing his job as the jungler just to pick up in the meantime. Mundo just going to be able to harass, maybe zone and stunt the farm of the Morgana. Mundo not going to be able to do much there. Udyr immediately going down to the bottom lane and harassing there as well, forcing Corki to go home. Oh, it looks like Corki's racked up enough cash where he needs to get some better items, only having 2 Doran's Blades and Berserker's Greaves right now. What do you guys think of these builds these players are using? Anything interesting or noteworthy?
I mean, I just want to point out that we have fully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players rocking the double Dorans, whether it be rings or blades. It's a very popular, very strong early game build. The Dorans obviously don't build into anything, but the amount of damage, health, and lifesteal and/or mana regen you get from the Dorans it makes you very strong in the lane. Very strong in the lane.
They are very cost effective if you can get them early. And oftentimes the high elo players will. They will have to go home early. And we got some action here with Poppy and Riven.
Yeah, Poppy with the chase down, not necessarily committing all the way, which was a huge mistake. And if that Riven hadn't finished off the job, that Cleaver would have. Nice job by Riven with the turnaround there. Over-committing is that Poppy, but that's just such a delicate balance with Poppies, wouldn't you say? Just knowing exactly when you can just push all in and just get a little bit crazy. I mean, because with Poppy, sometimes it feels like you're overextending, but you're just extending enough to get that kill.
Right, and that one... Oh, that was just a situation where I think it got a little antsy. It's like, I haven't used my ultimate to tower dive anyone yet. I want to do it right now. Oops, never mind.
Action bottom lane. Corki's getting harassed heavily by this Graves and Janna. It's double exhaust on both ADs right now. The Ignite going off on Corki. Corki's probably going to be able to escape. Graves now going to be able to push back that Alistar. Constant action between these two. Nobody really proving to be more dominant thus far in the bottom lane. TF, though, getting hungry for a kill, got that gold card locked in. Not going to be able to do much. He's not going to be able to finish off that Graves. It was just a fantastically timed tornado with the early release there from Janna, preventing that death on Graves, even though I really didn't think he was going to die. TF didn't have enough burst, I think, to just straight up murder him in that situation. Do you think, boys?
No, definitely not. Here we got some action, though. Morgana and Udyr there. Steven Seagal, they are out for a kill.
There's Steven Seagal. Under siege, baby. Mundo wisely deciding to pull back. And right now we see Alistar and TF trolling around. Who are they going to go after? Looks like they've got their sights set on this Morgana.
Yep, here we go. And we got Udyr here just trying to take down the blue. He's telling Morgana, come get the blue. Junglers, give your AP carry the blue. Be nice. It will be worth it in the long run.
If you give your AP carry the blue, it will pay for itself many times over. The extra mana, the extra moves, the extra damage will net your AP carry some kills and use some assists, which are all in all worth just a ton of money. People underestimate assists. You see a lot of people saying, oh, I got 30 assists at the end of the game.
And here's some action right here in the jungle.
Dr. Mundo getting Dark Blinding immediately, though, in. Looks like the TF and Alistar very wisely decided to take out that Morgana early before her ultimate could finish its full damage sequence. Now they'll be able to push everyone back as Udyr and Janna are forced to back up. Gonna try to pick up this dragon. Is anyone gonna come into counter? It doesn't look like it. The only chance for the Jackets would be a Janna tornado, which no. Janna wisely decided not to move into that situation. Graves with the harass. The dragon pickup. Looks like blue team with that exchange did pull ahead by 1,800 there in that little exchange, plus the dragon pickup, pushing them up to over 20k to the purple team's 18k.
Yes, and I do apologize. It sounds Awall. It sounds like your internet is slowing down a little bit. You're getting that little robot-y action. Hopefully that will clear up. But you know, that's just the unfortunate little technical issues we are going to be dealing with as we do this. Try to do this from different locations.
I will say, after that dragon, what it looked like Graves was trying to do was secure that kill on Mundo with his ultimate. Didn't quite work out, but all in all, valiant effort.
And that's how you do it with Poppy.
Yeah, there you go. That was that delicate balance, right? And the Ignite. Oh my. I hope I'm not robot mode right now. That Poppy surviving with 40 HP. Mundo headed up top, though. Will Mundo be able to get there in time? No, Mundo not there in time, but he will be able to push that top tower. Probably will be able to take it down. I don't see how anyone can respond. No, Mundo deciding not to take the tower down.
Well, oftentimes
he doesn't
you
really
don't.
have to.
Yeah, you don't. They don't want to take the tower down as early, just because it limits what you can do. You're not as safe when the tower's there. Oh, and that's unfortunate for TF. As the Udyr and Morgana out for a kill.
Oh, but Mundo looks like he's out for a kill. He's out for blood. He goes where he pleases. Is this Udyr? Oh, nice juke there from the Udyr in the side bush. Corki missing with the ultimate. Just one connect to that cleaver would have finished him off. Udyr is going to survive as Corki misses once again with that ultimate. That was super duper ridiculously close. Bottom lane, this Graves and Janna look like they're pushing pretty hard, and we do see an Alistar and Corki headed down there to respond.
Yeah, and that exchange there was all about that juke. That juke by Udyr was very nice. Mundo didn't know where he was.
No, it turned what would have been a one-for-one trade into just an absolute net gain.
Yeah.
Very nice. Janna and Graves wisely deciding to pull back. If you look at that purple ward coverage by hitting the F2 button, you'll see that they have really decent coverage, whereas blue team does not right now. Blue team has virtually no, I think literally no ward coverage. Purple team has wards all over the place. That information advantage coming in handy top lane. Riven trying to turn it around. Oh my! Riven trying to turn it around on that Poppy, but the Dark Binding from Morgana finishes that off. Nice kill there, killing that top lane. Riven, Poppy just going to be able to free farm in the meantime. Poppy evened things up in the CS things have been evened up by Riven in the top lane in terms of CS, 103 to 103.
Yeah,
I just want to point out.
Oh, go ahead.
The great placement of this purple ward in the Blues jungle right next to their raids. This is a big thoroughfare here. A lot of people move through here when they're going to move towards an objective, and honestly, this just gives you a lot of information as far as where people are coming from, where people are heading, and that's a big difference between dying and getting a double kill.
Yep, and the ward he's talking about is the ward I'm looking at right now. It's this one right here. It's a great spot for a ward, and then of course the alternate spot would be right over here.
And warding your own jungle underrated. You see that they have wards sitting right next to each other, but warding your opponent's jungle extremely important in terms of just understanding where people are, the flow of the game, where people are headed, where you should be headed.
Look at this top lane. We see this Poppy perching, waiting for the kill. Gonna try to move in on the Riven. Riven gets first move. Poppy deciding wisely to pull back to the tower. I don't know, this heads-up situation mid-game, it's sort of a toss-up who will actually get the kill between the two of them.
Yeah, they've been very even at this point, back and forth. Just the big melee bruisers, you don't see a lot of difference between the whole suite of them. It's more about playstyle and who is going to make the correct decision. Riven with the just booing all kinds of damage, getting all up on there, and then we're going to see this tower go down at this point, unfortunately.
We are going to see Udyr. I think we're going to see the Riven going down. As here comes the Udyr using that movement speed upgrade. Will the Riven be able to escape? Riven has some of the best escape mechanisms in the game. Udyr, just a few seconds late. I was wrong. The tower went down, the Riven escaped. It's just win-win there for blue team.
Absolutely. And then we got Morgana and TF have they've been battling pretty hard in the middle.
Bottom lane, check it out. TF coming in to secure that kill on Graves. They need to take down that AD carry. Mundo with the ignite on Mundo, mitigating that healing from his ultimate. Able to secure the kill on the AD carry. I'm sorry, you were saying, MBD? That was some hot action.
I was just talking about the battle that TF and Morgana have been having. They've basically been trading blows with their junglers. Oh, and this bottom turret's on its way down. Bye-bye, bottom turret.
Hot melee bruiser on melee bruiser action in the top lane. Poppy barely comes out on top with 30 HP again. This Poppy was like, sup, girl? Oh my gosh. Just so, I don't know. When it comes down to 30 HP, is that really that super high elo being able to judge whether you go in or not? I mean, that is such a small number. It almost comes down to fortunate circumstance, one would think.
Well, Poppy with 30 AP is probably the equivalent of any other champ, or 30 HP rather, is probably the equivalent of any other champ with 300 HP. So, Poppy seems very low, but once again, that's very deceptive. Poppy, you just need to kind of double or triple the amount of HP she has, especially when she starts to get low, and assume that that's how much damage you need to do in order to kill her. That's just bottom line with Poppy.
Kidding aside, he is exaggerating just a little bit, but for those of you who don't know about Poppy, her passive is, Valiant Fighter, I'm putting it over right now, any damage that exceeds more than 10% of her current health is reduced by 50%. So if she's got 100 hit points, and you do 200 damage to it, or it only does it only does 100. So that would kill her.
Right.
But
so it's not a ×10 multiplier by like the King of Town is saying, but it
is very effective.
Well, it's
big
50%
action
damage
here in the purple jungle. It looks like everybody's kind of dispersing though. Janna and Udi are gonna be out of position. If the Riven was able to get in there, nice Janna tornado, dispersing that situation. Blue team picking up the dragon again, still retaining that lead in gold, bumping up to 30k. The difference in gold count right now though is pretty even. There's really not a huge advantage going one way or the other.
It is relatively close.
Do want to point out that right in front of the dragon, you see, looks like blue team put down this this pink top, which is critical. A lot of people forget about the pink top. It's about almost twice as expensive as the green top, but they were able to take out their enemy's ward that was also right there, allowing them to at least give their opponents a little bit of a question. Obviously, they knew they were taking the dragon, but everything else would be purely conjecture at that point.
Speaking of conjecture, that was a terrible segue. Poppy's coming in to kill the Riven top. Conjecturally, that didn't even make sense.
I don't even know what conjecture is.
I know it's one of those words you say to sound smart. Poppy getting that Riven, thinking he was going to be able to commit there. The Alistar and the Corki tried to save the Riven, but Poppy able to use that burst damage so effectively. Now the Udyr is coming in, trying to hit up that Corki. It didn't work out. Poppy getting headbutted back, putting him in a position where the TF and Corki could finish off his job. Udyr now running for his life. I was about to say I have every confidence that he can get away, but Alistar did blow his flash so he could get the pulverize. There it is. The Udyr had a chance to get away. Now they're going to try to turn it around with Morgana. Morgana can get a dark binding on this Alistar, which he does. Morgana ultimate. Where's the Morgana ultimate that could finish off the job? Alistar barely surviving with 30 HP, trying to kite with the amazing pulverize there. Pushing that Udyr back so Udyr couldn't finish off Alistar. Alistar chilling in the bush. This is quite the tense situation as Alistar's kind of moving in and out of that bush, wondering whether he can go back or not. He's going to come out, maybe with a clutch headbutt at the last minute. Disgusting, disgusting play by that Alistar. So well played, keeping himself alive under 200 HP that entire time.
Would like to say a lesser player would have either died or stayed blue pilling in that bush instead of turning around, getting the headbutt, getting the assist, which is worth a significant amount of gold. And, now everybody on the blue team comes out ahead, everybody on the purple team comes out behind. Just all in all, that Alistar play exceptional in its skill level.
Oh my gosh,
new Alistar players,
like
take a look at that. Watch
points.
that over and over and over again, because that was impressive all around.
That was amazing. Plus 20 MVP points for the Alistar in my book. I'm sorry I talked over you there a minute ago. I was still quite elated by that Alistar play.
I love it. I love a good Alistar. Alistar, one of my favorite heroes. One of the heroes I probably played the most, and I just love to see good Alistar play.
He's so powerful right now. He really is. And as an Alistar, at this point in the game as a support, a lot of really good support Alistars I've seen in high elo play, picking up an Oracle's Elixir right about now. They probably aren't going to die. They're going to be traveling all over the map to support everyone. Why not pick up an Oracle's? It's a good investment.
It is absolutely a good investment. You see, purple team was pinging Baron. They didn't know where the blue team was. They're assuming he's at Baron. They don't have any wards. Here we go as TF comes in. We got a big fight.
Oh my gosh, the Morgana just going down immediately. Poppy was like, sup girl, and is now getting taken out by Mundo and Alistar. Poppy does have a chance to escape as the remainder of the purple team very hesitant to move in. Graves was on the other side of the map. The huge damage dealer was unable to help there. Janna unable to do much, just going to be able to harass with the tornadoes in the meantime. Maybe purple team can hope to jack this Baron, but they certainly aren't going to be able to steamroll in this situation.
No, it is a 4-2 situation. It is rough. As you see, they put a ward. The blue team did right here, so they could watch and prevent the steal and know the steal is coming. So that's a smart move there.
With Graves up top, it is possible that this steal could occur. If this steal happened, it would be freaking epic.
Watch for the Graves ult coming any second now. Here we go. Graves ult, not quite enough. Not quite enough. Would also like to point out, just going back for a second, that those running battles in the river, really difficult to know when to engage. If you are together and they are pincering you, you are often at an advantage. In the river, at least, simply because people are together, you are able to focus your fire much better in my opinion. And really, those river engagements can go either way, but knowing when an engagement is going to be favorable, when your positioning is favorable, versus when it's unfavorable, very important in high-level play, very important in low-level play.
Oh, especially in those Baron situations, man. I mean, you see once you get past that 20-minute mark, those Baron situations can make or break a game. It can, essentially, if you lose that situation, boom, and there goes an inhib. A lot of times, sometimes there goes 2 inhibs. So your positioning in those situations is absolutely critical. That's what these late game is won in the team fights a lot of the time, and a lot of those team fights revolve around that Baron, and they revolve around that Dragon.
So you called it earlier, the toss-up, the Alistar does have an Oracle's Elixir right now. He is running around, he is killing Oracles, or he's killing wards and doing a really good job of it.
That's what's up. That's what you need. That's what you need your support to do. I would highly recommend anybody out there who's trying to improve their play as a support or a jungle, at least once you get past that 20-minute mark, guys, pick up an Oracles. Run around, troll for wards. Information becomes so important. Like we said earlier, team fights, absolutely critical at this point in the game. It's all about who can ace who, or who can get a, kill 3 on the other team and get that advantage to push those inhibs.
Just quickly, if your support gets an Oracles, let them kill the wards. Let them get their money back for the Oracles. Don't kill them for them. Yeah, the 27 gold for you as an AD might be nice, but the 27 gold for a support relying on GP per 5 items is crucial. Let them pay for their Oracles with wards.
Right.
Don't steal the kills from them.
That's an excellent point. Purple team being very hesitant right now. Dark binding on the Mundo, last person you want to dark bind on the blue team, just hanging out behind their tower. Maybe they're waiting for blue team to overcommit or something like this. It's just kind of a back and forth with a long range damage. Blue team does, I don't know, it's actually pretty even now that I think about it, with the Janna on board and the Morgana and the Graves on board versus that Corki and TF. Both people can spam back and forth at a nearly unlimited rate. So who's gonna commit is the question. This is a really tense situation. The dark binding on the TF. That was the opportunity purple team was waiting for, as TF forced to flash out of there to save his ass. Morgana gonna be able to complete 3 stuns on the ultimate. Blue team sort of in a disarray right now, trying to clean things up, everybody running everywhere. Poppy surviving with 30 HP again. Udyr able to finish off the job oh wow. Purple team coming up way ahead right now, and I don't think Mundo and Alistar are going to be able to do much on the cleanup end of things, as it is 4v1.
Yeah, it is a rough situation there. Alistar coming in, and you saw what happened there is you saw Poppy doing their job. Poppy ran right in as soon as the engagement began. Here we go. They're chasing down that Alistar, and down he goes, and here comes the ace, it looks like. That is rough. I would never have thought that the purple team was going to be able to turn that one around, especially with the Baron buff. But yes, what happened was Poppy came in as his anti-carry, popped her ultimate, focused carry, and took TF completely out of the fight.
That's what you
took TF and Corki completely out of the fight.
Doing your job. Very, very nice work there. And similarly, that's what Riven should be doing on the opposite side. But in that situation, of course, purple had the advantage. They did have the tower, and of course, blue team didn't engage there.
No, blue team did not have the initiation. They spent too long at that tower, I think. They managed to get the dragon while sitting at the tower, but they should have probably moved around, cleaned their jungle, and I think they just gave too many opportunities for the purple team to get a good initiate on, which of course is that Morgana dark binding.
Well, it's the Morgana dark binding on the AP carry. That was the critical part.
Yes.
I agree completely. I feel like that hesitation will cost you the game. When in that situation, they either should have gone for it or backed off. By hanging around, they gave Poppy the opportunity to take out the carry, turn the fight in purple team's favor. Prior to this, purple team was about 5k behind in gold. They're still about 5k behind, but right after the fight, they were closing that gap. Looks like purple team is having a difficult time keeping up. 5k across the team doesn't sound like a lot, but that makes a big difference for your carries. The difference between having components and having a top tier item is often huge for carries. Especially
speaking of carries, how are the carries doing item-wise in terms of top tier items? That's what determines these late game fights so often.
Well, the thing is, look at Corki with 169 CS. Sounds good, right? Graves 267, and we've got an engagement here. Jonna says no, reset. I don't like this engagement.
And that was a great reset there by Jonna. Jonna, one of those underloved heroes, right? One of the ones that we've talked about this together, MBD. When Jonna has a great ultimate, nobody's like, yeah, Jonna, you're the best, but it saved your team's ass.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times a great Jonna will be underappreciated, but you'll feel it in that you actually win more often with a good Jonna on your team. So anyway, the only Jonna ultimates that really get love are the ones where you like push the enemy team into your tower or something like that.
The thing is, her ultimates don't win you team fights, but they keep you from losing one.
Isn't that just as good?
It is. It's just not as sexy.
It might be better.
It's not sexy. That's a good way to put it. Here we are again in this mid situation. This time Poppy chilling on the side in the bushes, getting spotted by that ward there. So TF trying to keep that threat away. If Morgana's able to get a Dark Binding again on anybody who isn't Alistar or Mundo, I would not be surprised to see Purple Team move in and try to take this out. Poppy coming around from behind. TF getting Dark Binding again. Another perfect initiate, immediately taking out that TF. So much damage is gone. This is in the Purple Team's favor right now. Morgana hitting everyone with the ultimate, but being unable to finish it. Riven taking out Morgana. Now it is 4 versus 2. And once again, the only two standing are the two tanks, Alistar and Mundo. Perfect initiate once again with the Dark Binding for Morgana. Absolutely clutch. Alistar going down, and they're going to commit on that Mundo for the full-out ace.
Whew. That is rough there. Basically what you saw their two carries, their big damage, the TF and the Corgi go down instantly, and the fight's over at that point.
Well, and you see here that late in the game, even though Purple has more or less been behind the whole game, they're able to win a couple of team fights and catching up very, very quickly, taking objectives. You notice that the Purple's mid towers, all 3 of them are still up, but now they're on the Nexus tower here for Blue. Makes a big difference. It really gives you a lot of opportunity. Now they're taking the Baron even better. You notice Blue Team had the Baron earlier and they kind of pissed it away. Purple Team, I imagine, is going to do a much better job of capitalizing on this Baron.
Well, let's see. Let's see if they all decide to mass B. At this point, a mass B would probably be the best option. Ooh, dear, getting caught at the wrong place at the wrong time. Jacking that Baron buff from him. Oh my. You should have done what everybody else did, which was run the hell away. Everybody else backing, no, Graves farming the jungle a bit more. Everybody else back in to grab up items. Blue Team deciding to push their luck, maybe take down a tower or two and try to even up, try to even up this tower count. It's pretty close. Well, there it is. It's even. It's completely even now, 3-3.
Yeah, you know what else is pretty even? The gold situation now. As you said, Purple was down about 5k, 3 team fights in a row, and this game is, I would say they were behind. They were on the ropes a little bit. Three quick team fight wins, and yeah, who's ahead now?
No, now they're ahead 5 kills. They're not quite matched up in gold, but you know, provided that the right people have gotten the gold, their carries primarily, and not their tanks and support, then you know, you look at this 1k difference across the team. It's 200 gold. That's nothing. Nothing.
That is nothing. That Graves guys just picked up his last Whisper. That is not good for that Mundo and for that Alistar. That was a big factor earlier, and he's going to be able to rip into them even further. Poppy just getting popped there with the cleaver. Poppy's just kind of harassing and just keeping an eye on that river, not really focusing on clearing out their jungle entirely, and moving back to that mid. Say, oh my gosh, the Dark Binding almost hit that TF again, which would have been certain doom. I'd like to see the Blue Team pull back, regroup, maybe try to get a flank or something, but I don't think they'll get the opportunity because there's the Dark Binding again on that TF. Securing the kill on him. Is that the TF's fault at that point? I mean, that's the 3rd time.
He's been pretty out of position, I would think. I wouldn't say he's been, like, completely wrong, but he has been a little out of position.
I mean, that Dark Binding has been game-changing for them because Dark Binding, almost like the robot grab, it can change the game. If you turn a 5v5 into a 4v5 by isolating one of their people, especially their carry, well, I mean, that's it. Good game.
Dark Binding number 3 equals GG no re. I think that's the case, guys. Wow. Ace again. A+ there to that Morgana for really nailing the Dark Bindings. TF just out in front, or the wrong place at the wrong time. I can't place too much blame on him. He wasn't noobing it, per se. But, wow. There's the GG. That was an exciting as hell game. A very even matchup. But I don't know. You guys tell me. You're the analysis guys. Are we going to be able to go to the score screen here and check out the scores, and we'll talk about why we think the win and the loss occurred?
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you that losing 3 or 4 team fights in a row later in the game will pretty much wipe out any disadvantage you have had up until that point. Late game team fights, really where it's at. Late mid game team fights, if you can win those, you can win the game, and if you cannot win those, then unless you've got some extremely clever split pushing strategies or backdooring strategies, you're pretty much screwed.
MBD, what do you think?
I pretty much agree with that. Obviously, no matter what happens in the beginning of the game, the end game is really, really important. The beginning game is really just to set you up to do well in the end game. The end game is what matters. And the real story here, or there are several stories, but the big one to look at is Graves, 14.6k versus 10.2k for Corki. Just way, way ahead on the items. Got another big tier item there with Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer and Last Whisper versus Infinity Edge and Trinity Force. And then also, you got to give the MVP in this game to Morgana. Her stats might not look that impressive, 5, 5, and 8. A lot of creep kills, but those grabs were clutch. And then a little credit also goes to Poppy with doing her job as the anti-carry. Like I said earlier in the game, Poppy has a weird role in the game. As that anti-carry, you don't always see an anti-carry, and it really requires the player to focus and really do the job of an anti-carry. And I feel like I've said that word like 10 times in a row now. It's kind of a weird word. But yeah, push them out of the fight and make it a 4v4 fight that your team will have the advantage because they actually still have their carry.
Excellent points, gentlemen. That was an exciting game, and thank you so much to the audience for watching. Be sure to click up in the top left-hand corner to check out our League of Legends playlist. Click up in the top right-hand corner to check out our channel. We really appreciate you watching. Give us your critical feedback, constructive criticism rather. Don't be too critical. In the comments below, let us know what you think of our commentary, as this is one of our first triple commentaries of pro matches, so your feedback's always appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you in our next cast.